UBL Nation, welcome back to another installment of the Weekly Pickems. As always, I am joined by a special guest. Introduce yourself.
Hello. It's not Winda, it's Cannor.
I thought it was Winda for a second. I was really confused.
I know. I sound really British. Hello, governor.
Oh my god. Winda's gonna sue
We in
us.
shambles this season, chat. We're in shambles this season.
I'm joined by the one and only Washed Warrior. Hey, you requested I call you that. Okay, you can't get
I
mad at me.
did. That's actually fire, though. That's gonna be a fire title. The Washed Warrior returns.
I'm gonna put that that Discord screenshot in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
over the UBL logo.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. But it's me.
Yeah.
Only champion in UBL history to go from 7-1 into winning the league to 1-4. Let's go. Only time it's ever happened. And I'm the only one to go from championship win to not making playoffs. And guess what? I'm gonna do it twice, baby. Only one to do it and the only person to do it twice.
Wait, you're doing it? Wait, I didn't know it already happened.
Yeah, season 9. Season 9, I missed
both
playoffs.
times
I won
it's gonna
season
be-
8.
Both times
Season
it's
9,
gonna be,
yeah. Basically
Cathy
by
winning.
one set. Yeah, if Cathy wins, this is basically just mirroring what it is, which means 5 more years of Winda, folks. Season 16 to 21. It's all looking like Winda.
It's looking
All looking like Winda. If you're betting on this, I'm taking bets. I'm not paying out. If you
What
want to
the
put a bet,
fuck?
I'll give you my PayPal. I'm not paying out.
Come
I'm
on.
scamming you. I'm robbing you. I'm taking all your money.
You really are like Ludwig, but for UBL. That's crazy.
I am. Except I'm not Cannor from video games. I'm Washed Warrior from video games.
Cannor from video games.
Cannor from video games, just like
Please
Ludwig
change like your
from video
UBL
games.
nickname to like just be Washed Warrior from video games or something.
Washed Warrior from video games, sure. Or maybe I'll just make it Cannor from video games,
I think Cannor from video games.
just to match the Ludwig
good.
reference.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, we have a Ludwig reference for our first team as well here. So,
Wait, we do?
Mogul Mercenaries.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, first season he was here. He used a Ludwig picture for his logo.
Did he use like a good one or did he use like...
I don't even know anymore. Probably some
Damn.
shitty one. Like, most pictures of Ludwig that get passed around are
What do you
only
mean?
the really
How
bad
could you
ones.
say that about my favorite white boy? What the hell?
He is my favorite white boy too. He is a white boy of all time.
I don't know. I feel like you give more Germa vibes than Ludwig vibes. Like you'd be more of a Germa fan.
Yeah. To an extent. I like Germa's like big events, but I'm not like I couldn't sit down and like watch like an actual like video.
I mean, I can't really sit
I
down and like
can
watch a
do it.
Twitch stream to begin with. I don't know how people do it.
I mean, that's fair. I can't watch a Twitch stream right now either.
I have too much ADHD.
I have too little time is usually what it is for me. Anyways, Pickems.
I love how every single time I have a guest on, like the intro yapping is like a minute long, and with you, it's always so much more.
It's always an hour and a half. Like I said, this is basically just the UBL podcast when I hop on.
I mean, hey, I'm
With
down for it.
Pickems in the background.
Well, here's the background Pickems for everyone who wanted to see it. We have the Kamarocha Oranges and the Mogul Mercenaries. We have Orange, we have Vatrena, and I think both these teams are fighting for their first win in the season.
Yeah. So do we have to talk about this matchup? Can we just like pass on it? Because I don't think Vatrena's gonna show up. Like legitimately, I just don't think he's showing up.
So what I'm
it
hearing is
feels
that you're
wrong
predicting
to do.
Orange.
Well, I mean, yes, but also it feels wrong to do Pickems for a coach that's shown up to like 2 matches the whole season.
I guess that's
It's
fair.
like it doesn't feel right talking about a matchup that we're probably never gonna see. That being
Okay.
said, in terms of teams, I think Orange has the better team and would win off of that. But like player diff is a thing, so like technically, if this matchup happens, well, we'll say Orange with an asterisk.
Okay.
If the matchup happens, Vatrena wins it. But if it doesn't happen, like I fully expect it not to, obviously Orange is going to be there.
All right. I did put an actual asterisk into it. So
Yep. Yeah,
Orange,
I see that there.
If you see this orange, no
Just-
offense. But you
Yeah,
are the
no
first
offense, but
in Pickem's history,
just-
get an asterisk.
That is true, actually. Yeah. Just so you know, no matter what, this is our freebie point. So, suck it, Rat. I got more
Wait,
points
but-
than you again. Did it
But
twice.
what if the match happens and then Orange wins?
Well, we have Orange there, so technically we still get a point anyways.
I'll say if that
That's
happens,
why
we only
it's-
get half a point.
That's why it's Orange asterisk. Enough. Well, I mean, I'll take a half point. Still more than Rat.
Okay, we don't have to be that that mean to our friend Faticus Radicus.
I do. He knows I only do it from a place of love. And I would do it to his face, too.
A place of love, says the guy who got double rockslide flinched by him. There's no love in your heart for
Hey,
him
hey.
this season.
We might be going through a divorce, but that doesn't mean we still don't
Wait.
love you.
It's water bowl time. Let's go.
Let's go. Oh my goodness, we got it out of the way early.
It's water bowl Wednesday.
Water Bowl Wednesday. Let's go. Man, this one's a bleak one.
There-
Lyric has to win this to make playoffs. Has to basically win out the rest of their games.
Oh, is she? I thought she was only 1-2. Or is there something that's not updated?
Yeah, she is 1-2, but I don't know if the other matches are gonna happen. Also, the other matchups are just kind of wonky.
I think she could beat
there
Rad.
are other people, but I think her team can beat Rat.
I think she.
But
can
I
do it.
think Rat. I think Rat's gonna win just because he is like a significantly better player. Like
Okay, well-
Rat's insane. He's like popping
Absolutely.
off this season.
he is
like-
popping off.
Well, I love Lyric. Lyric's the bestie, but Rat is like locked in more than I think I have ever seen him locked in for a season.
Okay, but the last time I've seen him this locked in, he lost to Whiscash. So,
Okay, let me write down in my notes. Draft Whiscash next season. Freebie win against Rat.
look, it resists rock slide. I'm just saying.
True. And if I put covert cloak on it, it won't get flinched.
And it'll die to +4 close combat the old-fashioned way.
True. This matchup is strange. But at the same time, you guys mentioned it a little bit in the midseason recap. Nobody's been piloting their team like they've used it for 400 seasons. Admittedly, there is a Mon that they've used on this team for 400 seasons, but technically 2 actually. But I digress. That's
Can I
not the
ask
point
which
that I'm
2?
trying to
I
make here.
Just want to make sure I know
Fletchinder. Fletchinder Colossal.
Has Fletchinder come to a game? I was thinking Colossal, but has Fletchinder come to a game?
This season, no. I legitimately... It might have came against me. Maybe. I don't think he brought it to a game. No, I think he did bring it against me and brought it to a game and then brought Sinister the last 2 games.
I'm going to look it up.
I don't remember. I thought he at least brought it to team preview. Least once.
Fletchinder has 0 kills and 1 death, so it has come to at least 1 game.
I think that game was against me. Hold on. Real-time fact check. It was against me. It was against me. Yes, it was against me because that was the game where I close combat crit flinched the Genesect. And then O-code Sneasler immediately. And somehow still lost the game from 4 Mons up.
Damn, he even brought Purloin.
Yeah.
I'm just
You
amazed.
brought
that
Purloin?
I don't know against who,
Oh.
but Purloin is 2 deaths, therefore it had to have come somewhere.
Oh. Huh.
So either it came twice to the one set that he lost, or he brought it 2 different weeks. Actually,
Huh,
I could have
surely it was just the
twice.
rat set. Surely it was
Maybe.
just the rat set.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We're kind of stalling just to say the inevitable about what I think we're both gonna kind of agree on here. Love Lyric. Lyric's the GOAT. Former champion. Nobody's winning this one, hands down.
I mean, if I were to be as charitable as possible, I would say that nobody's electric resistances are not the best. It's just Sinistra. So Rising Voltage.
Yeah,
Raichu
I
hits
mean,
pretty hard.
like there is a world where Lyric can win this, but again, I think kind of like I was mentioning when I was talking to you about Rat and everything. I think nobody is just so locked in this season, and I think like especially since Winda has been taking the season off, a lot of these coaches that haven't gone all the way and got that win are just so hungry, so locked in, and like it's evident by a coach like nobody. He's hungry for this win. He is locked in. He has got something that he's proving to be really, really comfortable with. And I think that comfort is going to be able to catch Lyric off guard here. So I personally think nobody is going to take this one.
Yeah, I think from like a matchup point of view, it's pretty even. But nobody's almost certainly gonna just play really well, as they've done this whole season. Like 4-1 plus 5, tied with Cathy for first place. It's been a great season for nobody.
Yeah. Great season for nobody. Great season for Cathy. Honestly, I would say nobody has had a terrible season here. If we go look outside of like records and everything, I would say like genuinely like this has been a super interesting season to watch.
Because he's only lost to Rat, which doesn't normally happen.
Yeah, and I mean like Rat has had a killer season. His team's been really fun to watch. Nobody's team has been sort of interesting to watch.
Because like I don't know, I definitely did not understand it at first, but as soon as I realized,
wait. 100% I'm on the same page as you, but like I've seen him use it and I'm like, huh? Yeah, no, it's working for him. So
yeah, after transactions especially, getting that Sinistra. Anyway, speaking of transactions, we have an entirely new team formed from transactions in the Sydney Scissors going up against Unbroken Leaves. We still have not seen Air play a game, so I'm not sure how he's going to pilot this team. But seeing an entirely physical team into Intimidate Scrafty is not the best.
Yeah, like it's an entirely physical team that's also super slow. So it's like we probably end up going a Trick Room angle here if you're Air, but also I think like Gig's team can kind of just pivot around the Trick Room here, get around that pretty easily. I think Aggron, for what it's worth, is a pretty big threat here. That being said, Aggron can't really do anything to Golden Go in its good set, which is just Iron Defense Body Press with Heavy Slam. But I mean, hey, that set cooks almost every other Pokemon, so
I mean,
like if you can deal with Golden Go with Chen Pao, you're in business. Could also run like
Tailwind is probably better than Trick Room here. I feel like Tailwind is because like it's not great when you're up against an Aerodactyl, but I feel like Gig has better slow mons than Air, especially that Primarina, which Aggron also does not hit super hard with Body Press, and Heavy Slam like probably does like 60%, but I would be surprised to see it do much more. So like,
I mean, yeah, probably does like 60, 70.
Which like, you can definitely be calc to survive that, or you can tear out of that type. I think Prim is definitely an issue.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair to Air here, if Prim tears out of the type that's going to take a lot of damage from Heavy Slam, those types also are weak to Body Press. So then you just open yourself up to being killed by Body Press and having Golden Go be the only option for that. That being said, I do think Primarina is huge here in this matchup. It's got Haze. If you're worried about, Gyarados switching around, if you're worried about this mon right here, Okie Dokie, I think this is actually a pretty decently strong Pokemon in this matchup. It's really your only punish to cycle Scrafty. a billion times. So there is
no
that.
fairy type. Well, okay, there's Rabombi as the fairy type, but like,
Yeah.
can it be so for real? It's gonna be Terra Poison Scrafty. Like,
Yeah, it's been what, Terra Poison Scrafty all season.
but like, this is the Terra Poison Scrafty matchup.
Yeah, yeah. Like you Terra Poison it, and it's like it's gonna end up resisting Sacred Sword from Chen Pao now.
And now you beat poison or toxic chain anyway. So like, just be Terra Poison.
You beat Toxic Chain. This it has to be guard dog Okie dokie here.
Oh,
Because otherwise you just go 40 million and O to Scrafty just switching around and not even having to stick on the field.
God, why did they make guard dog?
Because they needed a good Intimidate answer that wasn't as good as Defiant, I guess.
Okay, but they could have just made Defiant. They could have just given it Defiant.
Well, but if you have Defiant, you can get switched out by Roar, which is totally real here. It's real
I can't wait to see
singles,
Roar
but
gouging
here
fire
it's
be
not.
completely blocked by guard dog Dogi.
Yeah,
very
you know
real
what would be
thing that is
really
going to
funny
happen.
though? If Air does bring Trick Room like he is known to do, and then you roar the Weird Ear and just have to sit there and be like, well, I lost. Because he roared my Weird Ear. And my biggest issue though, honestly, with Air's team into this matchup is like, besides exactly Chen Pao, there's not really a Golden Go answer.
Mm-hmm.
Which is terrifying. Like, Golden Go can't Terra, but, like, look at Gig's team. It has more than enough ways to deal with Chen Pao. It's like, Chen Pao isn't great into this matchup, but it's needed because Golden Go is incredible into this matchup. You have to run knockoff on your Okidogi, and yeah, you put it in there. It's pretty clear to me that this is going to be a Gig game. I think it's potentially possible that Air can snag this one out, but it's going to be more on, is Air going to play incredibly while Gig is tripping over himself? More than, if both of these players are playing at their top caliber, can Air take out Gig with his team? And I think the answer is just quite frankly no.
Yeah, I mean, also Goldango just look at Make It Rain into this team.
Yeah,
like, and then you have Thunderbolt for Gyarados or Shadow Ball or Focus Blast for the Aggron. It's like, what do you even do, man?
Yeah, honestly, you can just run the Nasty Plot set this week, and you just there's not a mon on this team that wants to fight that.
Like Culver Berry too, because all the attacks hitting you are going to be ground type or dark type, other than like maybe Stomping Tantrum, Ogerpon, or like EQ,
or like
something next to Gyarados, or like high horsepower
EQ
Weird
Dogi. I think Dogi has high horsepower. Gyarados can run Temper Flare, I guess.
Oh, true. It also gets Power Whip, so it can hit the permanent.
But I mean, then you have to run Dragon Dance. Like, you have to commit to running offensive Gyarados, which I don't think you can afford to do in this matchup, just because you need to switch Gyarados around a lot to actually start mitigating some damage.
Wait, Okidogi
that's going to be hitting to you.
Dogi gets high horsepower and Stomping Tantrum, but not Earthquake.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, with Okidogi, you wouldn't want to run Earthquake anyways here, right?
Yeah,
because like, your only way that you're clicking Earthquake is next to Gyarados.
And it's weaker than horsepower, so like, why would you?
Yeah, it's weaker than horsepower, and anyways, if it's like Ogerpon Goldango on the field, you're always targeting into Ogerpon first. With Poison Jab, Gunk Shot, whatever move of choice you have.
Yeah. I just used to mons like Dogi getting Earthquake, so it's just weird. But yeah, I think this is a Gig W.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that one's kind of hard to argue.
Yeah. Next up, we have Rat and we have Gambit. This is going to be interesting. Both these teams are 3 wins. Rat is 1 loss. Gambit is 2 losses.
Yeah. I will say I assume Rat will be locked at the point of where this match would fall chronologically. When they play, he might not be locked, but, you know,
Yeah.
I do think he's going to beat Lyric. So I think he will be at that point locked. But Gambit's in a tough spot. Gambit needs to win this match to guarantee playoffs, or needs to win week 7. And I think their week 7 is against nobody, which is a much harder matchup.
Is against nobody. Yeah, oof. They go against two of the best coaches in this league right now. I definitely think the top 3 skill-wise that have been like standing out have been Cathy, Nobody, Rat. And then also, I mean, Air's had a really good season. Gambit's had a really good season.
Air hasn't played a single game yet.
Eris, like big.
You mean Kris? Oh, Eris.
Yeah.
Eris, sorry. Yeah, he's had a good season too. I mean, I will say, I don't think as a whole any coach is playing like terribly for the most part. I think there are some that are playing worse than others. And obviously there's a huge schedule imbalance this season, being 7 weeks with 12 coaches. So there is just a straight up possibility that someone has a significantly harder schedule, so they're at the bottom, and someone has a way easier schedule and they're at the top. We're not seeing that necessarily, though. I'm just going to say that there. Like, Rat has a difficult schedule. Gambit has a difficult schedule. Nobody has a difficult schedule. Like, we have these players with these tough matches up towards the top, showing that they do have the resilience to play through a lot of these matchups. That being said, I do have my grubby little hands into this matchup. I do help Gambit quite a bit with prep. I haven't helped with this matchup at all yet, so I'll just kind of give my initial thoughts. Celesteela, man. Like, Winda called me out for saying this mon isn't broken.
How
or
dare
isn't
you?
good. Like, Winda said I said it wasn't good. And I want to say I never said that. I never said it's not good. I said it's not broken. And I said I could beat it, which I did. I didn't lose to Celesteela, Winda, so suck it. I lost to Terrakion.
A much worse Pokemon.
Yeah, I lost to Terrakion and my Crobat damage roll. I don't know what to tell you, dog.
It's because you spent all your
I don't know what to tell you.
Celesteela. And then Terrakion just cleaned it up in the back.
Yeah, well, you know what? We'll go with that for the agenda. I'm all about upholding the agenda. You know what? Sure. This is a weird matchup, though.
Okay.
I feel like the matchup is slightly favored towards Rat, but not by a lot.
I feel like Terrakion in this matchup
I think
is really good.
Yeah, I think Terrakion's really good. I think Celesteela's really good. I think Mousehold's really good. I think your top 3 are just incredible in this matchup, and they have to come. But then kind of my issue falls in, what do you do with the rest of your team? Because the rest of your team looks kind of mediocre at best. You probably have to bring Runerigus or Executor, probably Runerigus, just in case there's a Trick Room that does touch down, because if you have Runerigus, you're outspeeding that Mawile. You're going to be in a pretty decent spot there.
And you can also Wandering Spirit, the huge power, onto yourself and hit like a truck.
Yeah.
Which I think is going to happen.
Mawile basically has to switch out.
Yeah.
But I will say, if Gambit actually reserves the Mega on Mawile and does use it as a pivoting tool for the first couple turns, I do think this matchup could be a lot closer than I think it might end up being. I think Celesteela ultimately is just going to be the big challenge.
Especially if,
and we'll say trademark. Like, that's Rat. That's the thesis of Rat's team, though, right? Yeah. Like, Celesteela, the big challenge.
The big challenge.
The big challenge. That's basically what it is.
Yeah,
I'm curious though what you kind of think about this, though.
I think if like Runerigus ever hits a burn onto that Mawile, the game ends pretty instantly. I don't know. I feel like Trick Room isn't extraordinarily viable into Rat's team, just because like Runerigus is so good at anti-Trick Room, and then Celesteela at Mousehold obviously have good matchups, and then Milotic also switches in fairly well into most of the Trick Room options. And even Darkspun is like not the worst thing here at beating Bastiodon, because he can just body press.
Yeah.
So like it kind of feels like you have to go Tailwind, but Gambit's team doesn't have a lot of firepower in that Tailwind mode, other than the Iron Moth, which I think has to come obviously for the Celesteela.
Yeah, Moth is going to be good. I think for what it's worth, Meowscarada is actually pretty good in this matchup as well.
I agree.
You just have to deal with that Celesteela first. If you deal with Celesteela and maybe Kilowattrel if it comes, Meowscarada is going to be in a position to just sweep up the game if you are supporting it properly. But I do have concerns about how we're beating Celesteela. That's kind of my big concern, because I think if you can beat Celesteela without committing a ton of resources immediately, you're going to be looking good. I think if you're Gambit, you got to be feeling good about that. You're going to be going into not necessarily great matchups into the final 3 Pokemon potentially, but you're going to be able to do something.
I mean, for what it's worth,
with
Moth
Celesteela
beats Celesteela pretty handedly.
With an asterisk.
Yeah, with the asterisk.
Because if you go Mousehold Celesteela and your Power Herb Meteor Beam on Celesteela, you're always killing Moth. And if it Terras even into a resist, you're going to be taking a lot. So there is that. You also kind of get pressured into having to click Heat Wave, which sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I think if it was me, I just run Akaberry Earthquake Celesteela. I wouldn't mess with Power Herb. Because, like...
I mean, that you could do too, yeah.
Even into Rain. And then it just forces
and then
the
end
Terra,
up bringing...
And then you hit it with Heavy Slam. And it's just, yeah.
Yeah, and you can end up bringing Hydreigon as a cleanup mon after that. Yeah, no, that actually seems like a really strong strategy.
I mean, I guess Hydreigon doesn't have, like, any good entry point, though, because, like, Meowscarada is probably going to be Play Rough. Mawile obviously destroys it. Moth gets Dazzling Gleam. Noivern can Draco it. So, like, Hydreigon's kind of hard to make work without Terra, but if you're Rat and you save your Terra right, then I think Hydreigon is really good.
Because, I mean, like, the one point that you're like, okay, I want to use my Terra here is Celesteela, but it doesn't have Terra. So it takes a lot of that decision-making out of Celesteela and lets you place it into another mon. Fake Out isn't really that problematic. Like, Wartortle has it. It will be able to click it. It probably will click it. But I don't know how relevant it's going to be, so perhaps you actually just end up clicking Yawn on those turns instead of Fake Out. I think for what it's worth, Wartortle looks great here. You just run Yawn Wartortle, and you're forcing Rat to switch out Pokemon that he wants to keep on the field.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something. Its speed tier is concerning, though, obviously, at 58. Slower than everything Rat has in terms of damage output. But maybe it can work. I don't know. I think this is definitely winnable for Gambit, but I do personally lean more towards a Rat for this matchup.
Yeah, and I agree.
I think it's just too easy to stick Celesteela on the board and just let it get out of control here.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? Like, that could be a downside to Rat. He's so focused on how good Celesteela is that he doesn't surround it with Pokemon that can deal with the problems for Celesteela. I don't know if he will, because Rat's a great player, but it's definitely something that should be a consideration, at the very least. But yeah, I think this one, unfortunately, is going to go to Rat. Even though I want Gambit to win the most, just because I think it would be so hilarious if Rat goes 3-1 and then loses the last 3 matches and misses playoffs. It would be hilarious.
Okay, but
because then he would have to be back on the Whiscash.
What if that happened to Gambit, though?
That wouldn't be funny.
Okay.
Because Gambit's the GOAT. And Rat's
I mean, you're right, but I thought it would be funny to make content. Anyway, speaking of the GOAT, we have
it would be
Fargo Pheasantipity versus Titanic Destruction.
Fargo Frozendipity.
So how does Gardevoir like them fighting types?
So it's weird because like Gardevoir likes the fighting types, but Lucario eats it for breakfast, and it just gets walled so badly by Doublade.
You have Shadow Ball. Shut the fuck up. You have Side Terrain Shadow Ball. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, I will be fine, but like, I'm still gonna. That thing is scaring me. It's just kind of sitting there, looking menacing. That being said, Sneasler outspeeds their entire team.
Yes.
Which means it also outspeeds Ludicolo when Ludicolo gets Rain up. So they have to click Tailwind in this matchup to be able to outspeed Sneasler while also having Rain on the field. But sure, Zapdos is cool, but you know, it's not doing anything. It's a Zapdos.
I mean, it's doing some, but like, can I just be so for real and just out the 6 Pokemon that I think you're going to bring?
Yeah, and I will tell you how many you get right.
I think
so I'm supposed to be playing today.
Oh,
so I'm not leaking anything.
Oh,
I'm supposed to be playing today.
This is going up tomorrow, so I can be like, I'm thankful for blah 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 on Thanksgiving. But
I'm thankful for UBL Week 6.
I'm thankful for my washed warrior. That's gonna be the title.
OMG. I'm so happy.
I'm just gonna guess Gardevoir, Sneasler, P2, Electros, and DD, and then like Clawitzer or Shaman maybe, even Rhydon maybe.
Okay, out of those you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 5 right. You didn't kill the last one though.
Are you bringing Talonflame?
Yeah, I'm bringing Talonflame.
Faster
than their whole team. I'm not running Hurricane. I'll just be honest here. Because I don't, just in case the match falls through, I don't want to leak the sauce, but even if, like, whatever. If I lose because I leaked my sauce, I'm fucking 1-4. I don't really care at this point.
It's okay, I'll wait till
I'm running
after
Sunny
you
Day
guys play.
Sneasler.
You're
I'm running Sunny Day Sneasler. With Psychic Seed on Burden and Choice Specs and DD. So basically you just lead with Sneasler, you Sunny Day, and then you just kill his entire team with Indeedee. Like, there's just nothing that lives it. If, like, Hitmontop's on the field, you just click Psyshock instead of Expanding Force, and it's dead. Ludicolo dies if I click Terra. If I just go Terra Psychic, Ludicolo dies. Politoed dies. The 30 fighting types die. Maybe I guess Lucario can do something, but it's also Lucario and doesn't really ever do something, or hasn't this season.
It's like the fake.
And then Mismagius is not actually a Mon. This is not a real Mon. Like, are you kidding me?
This is true. Mismagius is a fake Pokemon. But, like, it's kind of crazy to me how much Lucario isn't. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it should be a follow me Pokemon.
It's got like everything. Literally everything it could ever ask for. But it's just not. It's just not.
It's just so frail. Like, why does it have 140 special attack? What are we doing with that?
Yeah, and just to be completely honest, like, Porygon 2 walls everything on this team as well. Because I'm running Terra Ghost. Like, there's nothing that can hit Terra Ghost P2. It's got Tri-Attack, Shadow Ball, Recover, and then Eerie Impulse. I've got Terra Ghost, Shadow Ball. And I'm going to be getting the special attack download boost. That thing is dead.
That is true.
And if it kills... I mean, I don't even think it can kill P2. Funnily enough. I think it two-shots P2.
I do remember you saying earlier in the call.
Anyways, with this, I am going to take... Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to be taking Kris because I'm a fraud. No, I'm taking myself.
What if this
like,
is the one
in
where
prep, you switch up on me and then I actually end up winning it?
That'd be really funny.
If there was one, it would be the one that I'm in the video.
No, I'll save it for next week when you go up against whoever.
Next week I face Air.
Oh, never mind.
What? You don't think Air's gonna beat me?
Anyway, we have our last matchup here is gonna be the Coda Fan Club versus the Fairfax Alligator.
Snore, yawn, snark, me, Cathy 3-0. It's a 2-game set, but Cathy's gonna win 3 games.
Hey, Biggie's 3-1, Cathy's 4-1. It's not that much of a discrepancy.
I mean, it's not, but okay. I'm extremely biased. I also prep with Cathy, and very minimally help her because I'm washed and she's the GOAT.
This is true.
But like, come on, like, how do you look at this team and be like, this is a fair matchup? This is fair.
I mean, honestly, I don't think this matchup is
Ogerpon
that
doesn't
bad.
just get immediately killed by Terrifying Roaring Moon. Copium.
It does kind of do. But, I'm just saying.
One thing I will say, and I'm going to be looking metaphorically right into the camera at Big E, grabbing him by the chin. Terra your goddamn Ogerpon more. Why aren't you terraing Ogerpon? It's driving me insane. Like, this is the Ogerpon that you want to terra. And Gig, too. You know what? Gig, you come over here, too. You listen. Why aren't you terraing Ogerpon?
Do they know that they can?
That's my whole rant. I would sure hope they do.
I'll be honest, I didn't know that.
Why else? Because why else would you draft Ogerpon Hearthflame at 23?
Fair point. Fair point.
One thing I do think Big E has in this matchup that on first glance you don't really see it. His trick room is actually quite strong into this team. You just have to be able to deal with Marowak or you auto lose. So,
But,
you know,
I think Marowak is pretty scared in this matchup because, like, a lot of the stuff it wants to kill or switch into just kind of knock it off. And, like, it doesn't like Wake very much. Doesn't like Ogerpon that much. Doesn't like Sandy Shocks at all.
hates Sandy Shocks.
Yeah.
Like, Earth Power from this thing is just going to destroy it.
I think Lopunny's also really strong in this matchup.
Yeah, Lopunny's pretty strong. My big concern is how does Lopunny beat Stack Attacka after it terras? And how does Lopunny beat Finny? I think the big thing that Eris is going to have to figure out is how do you beat Finny and Stack Attacka in this matchup? Ogerpon can only kill one. If you're using your Terra on Ogerpon, the other is going to pick it up. So you're going to need to be making the right decisions at the right time. You can obviously pair it with Sandy Shocks. Sandy Shocks will be decent. But like if either of these are Terra, like if this is Terra Grass Finny, which honestly Terra Grass isn't super fake on Finny. Depending on how Ogerpon shakes up. Ogerpon's such an annoying Pokemon to talk about for Pickems. Because it's like, if it terras, it's the best mon in the game. But Eris doesn't like to terra it, so, you know. Cool.
I know you got Cathy in this one, obviously. I'm not sure which way I want to go, though, because I think Big E actually has some sauce.
I think there is some sauce. Like, even I'm struggling to be like, yeah, this is 1,000,000,000% Cathy, like, all seriousness. But, oh my goodness, we did it again. If you take Cathy, we did it again. What is it with me coming on and having the easy matchups? The easy weeks where we're like, yeah, this is the first one where it's like, well, maybe.
We didn't talk about the first matchup, so that only leaves 5 of them.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I don't got much for you. I don't know. To be candid, I have not been watching most of the matchups. I just kind of look at the schedules and I'm like, oh wow, this person won.
That's fair.
I got that kind of time. Sorry about that.
That is also very fair. I don't have that kind of time either. I just watch them live when I can.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I don't, I only watch them when I'm updating the doc, and I'm not paying attention to that. Like, I'm just straight up not paying attention to what happens in the games.
Okay, don't laugh at me. I know you're gonna laugh at me for this, but just don't. Sunflora kind of cooks.
You say I'm gonna laugh at you, but I see the vision.
Because like,
I see the vision.
I think it's
into
this team is really scary.
Yeah, I think it can cook, but I also think it's ass.
Okay, but
and
how about you shut up?
If I'm giving honest advice to Big E, it's don't put your cards in Sunflora unless you do. Hey, don't let me be a hater. I'm 1-4. You're 3-1. That's all I need to say.
It gets Energy Ball, Earth Power, and Dazzling Gleam. What more do you need?
I would
Don't
say
say
probably
a
run
better-
Leaf Storm so you actually pick up kills, but...
Okay, I don't think you need Leaf Storm to kill the Finny.
Oh, and a Torkoal. You could use a
maybe
Torkoal.
but you have Murkrow, you have Sun, so you can Solar Power. I think... You know what? I think because of the Sunflora Gambit, which Big E is totally
No, this is
going to
Big E.
bring-
This isn't Gambit, this is Big E.
Shut the fuck up. I don't
Someone's
think
got to
there's
be
a
the
universe
annoying guest.
in which
and it's
Big
me.
E brings Sunflora. But if that universe were to align with ours, then I fucking got him.
I mean, hey, there's an infinite number of possibilities. So, sure.
Oh man.
You know what?
Are you?
I like your
convinced too?
reasoning. I think you're... no, I'm not. I'm not. I like your reasoning. I think you're just wrong. But, I mean, your reasoning's cute. Like, it's cute.
Aw, I'm cute.
That's what you take away from that. You know what?
Okay.
I should
but-
have known. This
but,
is
like-
Pickems. We don't do anything serious in this house.
But like low key, why do you even bring Grass Stab to this matchup? You just bring Sludge Bomb, and that way you hit the Thwacky.
Why do you bring Grass Stab?
Yeah.
Like, also, your only poison type is this guy. Which is, like,
Well,
good in this
no.
matchup.
because Sludge Bomb, Earth Power, Dazzle Gleam has better coverage.
Oh my god, you're still on about Sunflora. I guarantee if you run Sludge Bomb, you're not picking up Finny.
What do you mean? You're picking up Finny. You're just a hater.
Let's see if I can keep up my agenda that Sunflora sucks. If it picks up this kill, I'm gonna have to say that it's like mediocre. I'm never gonna say Sunflora is good. You're never gonna catch me saying that.
If that 3-point mon kills that 20-point Finny, I will laugh in your face.
Yeah, 252. In Sun it can pick up if Finny has no bulk at all.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
If it has 252 HP, you know, you just got a high roll. It's only, 18.75% to kill. Just
Hey,
high roll.
games have been one off of worse odds.
Real. Just look at how Rat beat me in 2 games with RNG of worse odds than that.
You're never gonna.
Sunflora's
escape it, by
fake.
the way.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Sunflora's fake. It's not real. This calc has proven that to me. It's not real. Question is, how much does it take from a Finny?
Don't worry about it.
How much? 0 special attack ice beam. Oof. I mean, it's better than I thought, but still, ugh.
No, you just
60%?
Terra into what's even a good Terra type in this matchup?
You Terra Poison so that you can get the kill with Sludge Bomb.
And then you get exploded by
Guaranteed
Chimecho. Oh
kill.
god.
Nah. Chimecho is just like Sunflora. It's not real. It's
Watch them both come.
If they both come, I'd be happy to eat my words, because that's the funniest thing I could possibly eat my words on.
All right.
Out of everything in the league, is that Sunflora and Chimecho are actually good.
Big E and Cathy, you guys know the deal.
I mean, hey,
And with that
go
being
ahead
said-
if you want to make me look stupid or lose. I mean, either one. I mean, I'm sure the other person, like, I'm sure Cathy wouldn't mind Big E bringing Sunflora. And I'm sure Big E
Until
wouldn't
she
mind
loses to
Cathy
it.
bringing Chimecho.
Okay, but if she loses to Sunflora, that'd be hilarious.
True, the psychic damage from that might actually be enough to end her season there.
To knock her out of playoffs, and then you can make playoffs.
Real, yeah, it's gonna cause so much psychic damage that she drops. She's like, I can't do this anymore.
And then you could take over her team. Oh my god. We're
Yeah,
geniuses.
yeah, I can play Cathy's team, and then I'll take over Vatrena's team, and then I'll take over Big E's team, and I'll take over everyone's team so I can win. The Cannor only league is coming soon, guys.
The COL.
Where I
cannot wait
coach-
for it.
Yeah, the COL, where I play 16 teams and I play by myself in a cold, dark room, and the audio is just very, very quiet, faint sobbing.
And for Pickems, you hear me like intro as I'm walking into the psych ward.
Like, hey guys, there's no league anymore. It's just Cannor. Where'd they all go? What did he do to them? Like an episode of a true crime podcast.
I mean, did you see that like clip of Magnus Carlsen playing chess against himself?
No, I did not. But that probably would put me in an insane asylum if I saw that.
Imagine if it was that, but
You're
instead
like,
of Magnus Carlsen, it was like XQC playing chess games against himself.
Oh, that would actually be hell. Like, that would unironically, like... I would walk in and I'd be like, look, I need a room. I know this isn't a hotel, but I'm gonna plead insanity. I need a room. I just saw XQC play himself in chess.
While Cannor waxes poetic, that is gonna draw the conclusion of this week of Pickems. And you know what, Cannor? Let me ask you, since this is going up tomorrow, hopefully, what are you thankful for?
That's a good question. I'm thankful that this season is almost fucking over. What are you thankful for?
I'm thankful to all the wonderful viewers that made it to this point in the video. Thank you all so much for watching. And I guess I'll see you guys next week for the final regular season week of UBL Pickems. Peace.